Love staying informed? Subscribe now and get unlimited access to local news, weather, and sports for just 99 cents a month for your first 3 months at duluthnewstribune.news/join. Read every story, listen to every podcast, and download the apps that keep you informed on the go 24 hours a day. So head to duluthnewstribune.news/join right now to subscribe. What are you waiting for? You'll get 3 months of local news for just 99 cents a month at duluthnewstribune.news/join. Hello, Northlanders. It's Tuesday, February 14th. I'm Wyatt Buckner with your Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
Now here's a look at today's headlines. A protective vest may have saved the life of a Duluth police officer who was stabbed with a sword while attempting to arrest a man who barricaded himself inside a downtown apartment last week. Authorities said Alexander Dougherty, 33, made repeated threats of harm to others during a 4-hour standoff at the Gray Salon Plaza Apartments at 227 East Superior Street on February 6th. The charges identify Officer Ian Johnson, an 11-year veteran of the Duluth Police Department, as the victim. Dougherty allegedly stabbed him in the chest, though a protective vest prevented the sword from penetrating his body. The officer's hand was cut during the incident, the charges state. The incident started around 11 a.m. when an unwanted, agitated male was reported on the 8th floor of the building, according to police. The man, later identified as Dougherty, was refusing to leave an apartment and was believed to be armed with an edged weapon. Police said Dougherty was the only person in the unit, and neighboring apartments were evacuated. The department's crisis negotiations team was called in an attempt to peacefully resolve the situation. When that failed, the tactical response team forced entry. Authorities said Dougherty was taken to a local hospital for medical treatment and a mental health evaluation. He is charged with attempted intentional second-degree murder, first- and fourth-degree assault on a police officer, second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon, making threats of violence, and obstructing the legal process. The charges were issued by warrant, as Dougherty has yet to be booked at the St. Louis County Jail. It's not yet clear when he'll make his first appearance. 2 housing projects that are expected to help some of Duluth's most vulnerable residents got a boost Monday. The Duluth City Council unanimously approved $300,000 in assistance to help the Duluth Housing and Redevelopment Authority deal with cost overruns encountered as it bid out work on a 70-unit senior housing project called Sky Ridge Flats. Councilors also signed off on a plan to provide $1.6 million for Plover Place, a development One Roof Community Housing plans to build in Duluth Heights with an eye toward combating homelessness. At-large Councilor Noah Hobbs abstained from the 8-0 vote as he works for One Roof. Funding for both projects was made possible thanks to funding the city received through the American Rescue Plan Act. As part of a plan laid out by Mayor Emily Larson, $19.2 million of that federal pandemic relief will be used to foster the development of more affordable housing units in the city. Sky Ridge Flats intends to serve residents who are 55 and older, with 42 units offered to people who make no more than 50% of the area median income, 21 units reserved for people making 30% or less of the area median income, and 7 units set aside for veterans who might otherwise experience homelessness. The 4-story building, with parking tucked underneath, will be constructed at the corner of Central Entrance and Village View Drive as part of the Harbor Highlands development. Plover Place is designed to serve people either experiencing homelessness or who are at risk of losing stable housing. It will be built in 2 phases, each consisting of a 2-story, 12-unit building for a total of 24 new units at the corner of West Palm Street and Robin Avenue. Tenants will have their own private quarters, complete with the personal bathroom. They also will have access to common areas including a flexible quiet room, a gathering space with an adjoining shared kitchen, a lounge equipped with a television, an outdoor patio, laundry room, and storage space. Staff will have office space and will be available on-site to provide support services. Now here's Dan Williamson with Jay Gabler to talk about an upcoming concert in Duluth.
Thanks, Wyatt. I'm joined by one of our colleagues, Duluth News Tribune arts and entertainment reporter Jay Gabler. And Jay is working on a story that we'll be able to see in Wednesday's print edition of the Duluth News Tribune, as well as online prior at duluthnewstribune.com. Jay, this story involves a concert we'll be able to see this weekend at the Depot. What more can you tell us?
That's right. This is a story previewing a concert called Jazzy, Classy, Query. It is billed as a night celebrating the music, art, and elegance of our beloved queer and trans community. It's happening this Saturday at the newly renamed Studio 4 space in the Depot.
So, Jay, what was your biggest takeaway from this story?
I talked with a few of the artists who are going to be performing this Saturday night and was really interested to hear from them what it means to create an inclusive space. That doesn't just mean a physical space like a club or a bar or a venue, but it means creating a night, a mood, a set of expectations, a lineup of performers where, as one of the performers told me, I'm paraphrasing here, but she said, it's important to have a space where, as a member of the LGBTQ plus community, you feel comfortable being your authentic self. And you know that that is going to be safe and you're going to have a positive experience being authentically yourself at an event. And that is what organizers are aiming for with this event.
Is there anything you hope our audience takes away from this story?
Yeah, I hope that, first of all, they consider going to the event if it sounds fun. It sounds fun to me. Unfortunately, I'm personally going to be out of town. It's a bummer, but I hope people who read the story think about potentially going to the show. I hope they become a little bit more aware of this new space available at the Depot. Of course, it's a very old physical space in the historic Depot building, but it's now run by Minnesota Ballet. And people who are putting the show together say the ballet administrators have been great to work with in terms of welcoming new groups of artists to this space. And also, I hope they think about, what it means to have inclusive spaces available here in the Northland.
Well, Jay, we appreciate your time. Again, people can find this story in Wednesday's print edition of the Duluth News Tribune, as well as online prior at duluthnewstribune.com. Wyatt, back to you.
Thanks, Dan and Jay. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought by the News Tribune's 20 Under 40 Awards.
Good morning. Duluth area weather for today. Cloudy skies and mild with rain developing this afternoon. Temperatures warming into the upper 30s with a south to east wind off the lake at around 10 to 20. Tonight, rain gradually mixing to wet snow and maybe a little actually accumulating snow. It won't be much. Temperatures falling to somewhere around 25. And then the winds may be gusting as high as 30 miles an hour. Little light snow likely Wednesday morning. The weather will continue to be blustery with winds turning northwest, gusting up to 40 on Wednesday and Wednesday night. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist John Wheeler.
Thank you to the 20 Under 40 Awards for their support. Now is your chance to nominate someone younger than 40 who's making a positive impact in our Northland. Nominations are open through February 28th. Submit yours at duluthnewstribune.com/20under40. Reporting for today's episode was done by Tom Olson and Peter Passy. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.